people would see different things on their newsfeed. So not everyone was seeing the same thing. People were being fed different information based on what their views might have been to start with. So it just creates a more polarized society, which is a real shame, and I don't know how to stop that. But I think that the more you travel, the more you see, the more you meet other people with different views, and then you can become more rounded in understanding other people's point of view. Is what I think that traveling is really good for that. And I think there's a lack of awareness to do with that. There's a lot of things to do with plastic bags, for example, and huge campaigns about, it costs now 5p or 10p to buy a plastic bag in the supermarket or something. But this is quite small in comparison to how you're investing money for pensions and putting what banks you choose, whether it's an eco-friendly bank and that kind of thing. Think about it more in a case of how do we deal with the situation in a logical way rather than worrying about it or trying to be optimistic about it. The place where I live at home is a community in North Wales where a lot of people who've moved to the area are there because they don't want to be part of the kind of, it's hard to say exactly what I mean, like standard 9-to-5 rat race in a city. And a lot of people who love climbing are also very much aware of nature and wanting to keep the natural environment in a good condition. I wouldn't say I was pessimistic or optimistic about the future. I just do what I can, and my friends, and explain this to people that I meet too, in the hope that it will also impact, you give them ideas too. Some people just don't think it's possible. Like, for example, traveling long distances by train, feeling like you have to take short flights everywhere. But by telling people about my experiences, it can hopefully give them the idea that they can do it too, and that actually it's not a terrible idea, that it does work, that it's a really good thing to do. And that's my view, really. Thinking about the future for me is hard, so I can't think about it optimistically or pessimistically, because I just don't really think about it too much anyway. The way that politics is moving more to the right and people are becoming more closed and less open to new people coming, I think it's going to be a hard time with people needing to move and then countries not wanting to take them, and that is a worrying thing. Because I think people are going to need to move. I studied architecture. It was all about wanting to improve the world for people, make better places. And then it's hard in reality in an architecture office where you have other pressures like the developers, and you have all these tick boxes that you have to do, and the developers just want to squeeze as much money as possible. So you can start with an amazing design and it just gets gradually squashed into something that the developers would accept, and it just wasn't. It was getting me down, and eventually at some point I quit and went with a friend to India. There's some places I've been where the disparity in the amount of wealth is just awful, and I saw that most of all actually in America, going driving into Las Vegas, and a couple of hours outside of Vegas you have these trailer parks which are so poor, so utterly poor, and then you get there in Las Vegas and the first thing I see is a private parking for helicopters. And I just think, what? Because even in places like that, of course you have India, which is very poor, but then even in places like America, you have it. People are just turning a blind eye to it and thinking it's okay to have a helicopter, and then a couple of hours down the road there is someone who is desperately poor.
What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years? What do you want to achieve? Maybe do you want to achieve something, or is it just next day I'm doing this, as you said, spontaneous?
I'm not sure there is a goal, because at what point, I don't know, you reach that goal and then what? You need to find another one or another one. I always race. I don't feel like I want to be racing towards a goal all of the time, but try to experience the moment that I'm in.